Hey everybody, Dr. Kevin again here. Welcome back to day 14 of our 30 days of spinal rehab series, where over the course of 30 days, I will show you how to create a full body, comprehensive spine rehabilitation program from complete scratch, what I believe are the safest, simplest, and most effective ways possible. Now in day 14, we're going to go over an exercise known as the plank. Now the plank is an exercise that I think a lot of people are familiar with. It's an exercise that people may have done back in gym class in high school. Maybe you did it during, whatever sport or activity that you may have done in the past, or it's something that it's, commonly done in various boot camp classes or other gym classes that people engage with. And the reason why I want to share this exercise is because I believe when it is done correctly, it is one of the best exercises in order to help you build your core and to help you take pressure off of your back. However, for a lot of people that I work with, they are just maybe not doing it with the proper form or proper technique, which could potentially lead to problems. So in this video, I want to share with you a couple of the most common mistakes that I think people make when they do this exercise, and then show you a couple of variations of how I believe it should be best done in terms of teaching you how to maximally engage your core, to make sure we provide maximum safety on your spine, and just to give you the best chance of success at actually building a strong, healthy core and building a strong, healthy back. So with that said, let's get into the first demonstration. All right, so let's just start by showing you the basics of what the exercise looks like, just for review, in case you've done it in the past, or just, if you've never done it before, this is kind of what it looks like. So I can start on my hands, like here. This is what I prefer to do, kind of in a push-up position like so. But it's also commonly taught and done on your elbows and your hands as well, with your feet up in the air. Whatever your preference is, both are quite effective. I personally like to do it on my hands in a push-up position, but I'd have no problem with doing it on my elbows as well. I kind of like doing them both, but just for the sake of teaching it, I'll show it to you first on my hands. So I would say the most common mistake that people make when they do an exercise like this is they're just not paying close attention to what their backs or what their bodies are actually doing. So what happens is, as someone starts to get fatigued, they start to get tired, we might start to see their back start sagging towards the ground. Gravity just kind of pulling their back into this hyper arch position. And why this can be problematic is obviously that can just be a lot of unnecessary compressive load, unnecessary stress, and unnecessary strain on the back. And those are types of things that we actually want to avoid if we're trying to build a healthier back and start to learn how to engage your core muscles. I say the second mistake that people make in terms of form, in terms of technique, is they just might have their hips a little bit too high up in the air. And this is a problem because it puts your hips into quite a bit of flexion, which just kind of takes all of the challenge and all of the engagement out of the core. And it's just not a very effective way of actually getting those muscles in your stomach to actually fire. So the best way to approach it is to try to keep your hips in line with your back, in line with your shoulders. It's to hold everything in a nice horizontal plank position, just like a wooden plank as the exercise states. And then from here, instead of just kind of holding on and just trying to hold for like 30 seconds to a minute, to really start to increase the level of activation of your muscles and to make it a little bit more stimulating, what you can do here is just squeeze your glutes as tight as you can, grip your fingertips into the floor, and just do like a slight mini crunch of your abs just to really start to intentionally activate those core muscles. And instead of holding it for a minute, we'll hold it for just 10 seconds. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. So if you can tell there, with me counting down, my voice started to shake, my core started to shake, my whole body started to quiver, because I was really activating those muscles as much as I can. And what you'll find is when you start to learn how to engage those glute muscles, what that will do is it'll take out the pull of your hip flexors and really just force you to engage those abdominal muscles. It'll just kind of turn them on. Okay, let's just show it a couple more times. So I'm going to be in a good position, try to be as straight as possible. Let's tighten up those glutes to stabilize my pelvis, shut off those hip flexors. I'll grip my fingertips into the floor and just like a mini crunch. And then everything starts to quiver, everything starts to shake. I just want to hold over 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. So the most important part of this style of plank just the main points again is to squeeze your glutes really tight. That'll turn on your hip muscles, or that'll turn on your core muscles by, again, stabilizing your pelvis and just taking away the pull of your hip flexors. Grip your fingertips into the ground just to teach you to stabilize your shoulders and just to help you engage your obliques and all these other shoulder muscles as they attach onto the core, and just do like a little mini crunch. And what will happen is everything will start to shake, and we're only looking for a 10-second hold because we're just trying to teach you how to create the contraction, teach you how to create that stability within your core to help you, again, take pressure off of your back. So that's it for the first demonstration of the plank. And let's just show you the other variation that's also very popular and common as well. Okay, so let's lastly show you the second variation of how to do the plank. This one you can do it on your elbows and your forearms. We're just going to stick to the same idea and principles that we just shared with us on our hands. So we're just going to start in this neutral position, making sure that our back isn't sagging, to make sure our hips aren't too high. Try to keep things as level and as flat as possible. We're going to squeeze those glutes to stabilize my pelvis and to relieve the pressure off those hip flexors. And with my hands here, I can just either push my fists into the floor and then just start to pull my elbows down towards my knees. And then those shakes and then those quivers start to come. Let's hold it for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. And as we just kind of outlined, holding it for 10 seconds is more than enough, especially if you're getting to that point where your muscles start to quiver and the muscles start to shake. What we're really trying to do is just teach you how to feel, contract, and control those abdominal muscles instead of just kind of holding for 30 seconds or up to a minute without any real, again, awareness of what your backs or what your body is actually doing. Let's show it a couple more times. Nice and straight, tight glutes, press my hands into the mat. Let's pull my elbows down towards my knees. Hold it for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, starting to get a little winded. It is quite tiring. And again, the harder you squeeze your glutes, the harder you just push your hands into the floor, the more just contraction you can create within your abdominals, the stronger you're going to develop those connections between your brain and those parts of the body which we're trying to turn on. That's what we're after right now. We're not trying to set world records of how long you can do a plank. We're just teaching you how to engage those muscles, again, in the most effective way possible. So let's just demonstrate it one more time. Let's find a nice and straight position. Tight glutes. Smash my hands. Pull my elbows down. Squeeze my glutes even tighter. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. So that's it for the plank. And again, recommend just in the beginning, just shoot for like 10-second holds and try to work up to at least 6 repetitions. So the total amount of plank you'll do is up to a minute, but it's going to be done with just much better form, much better technique, and it's going to just build you a much better foundation of body connection between those abdominal muscles. It'll teach you how to create true core stability within those trunk muscles and also mitigate against any unhealthy stress or any unhealthy strain on your back when this exercise is done improperly. So that's it for day 14. Hope that it helped. Hope that it's stimulating and challenging, and we hope to see you again next time. Take care and have a wonderful day.